Hey. Checking in, Black Finish checking in. Hope everybody's doing good today. Wanted to come and talk to you about a little rap smoking and welding and doing it yourself. Sometimes getting started, building your independence, getting things going, making a believer out of certain people, you have to do things yourself. You have to really go that extra mile and make things happen. Just because you believe in it doesn't mean that someone else is going to initially believe in it like you do. So you have to take that first initiative. So whatever you're going to do, whatever is in your heart to do when it comes to business, you're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to step out there on faith. And you're going to have to be consistent in it long enough to turn someone else into a believer, not due to that you persuading them, but that they actually seeing your progress. And I want to take a moment and talk about one of my new members out of Texas. And he said something that stuck out to me. He said something I want to share it with you. He said that he contacted me and said that I had been watching you for a while now, probably around 16 months. And now I'm fully convinced what you're doing is working. Not saying that I didn't believe what you was doing was working, but I watch you over the time, and all I'm seeing is progress, man. I like your grind. I like what you're doing, and surely that's something that I can get from you. You know what I mean? Some knowledge. I want to be a part of the team when it comes to being independent and starting our businesses. So he made that statement and said 16 months. So a lot of times we think that, like, man, that's a long time. Most people will give up, like, man, but think about it. If this is what you do, 16 months is nothing, because you're gonna put that time in anyway. You know what I mean? You're gonna put this time in, grind it anyway. So I think that just because you not getting no friction at first doesn't mean that people ain't watching. Doesn't mean that people ain't following you to see, are you organic, see, are you real about what you're doing, see, are you a scam, are you just trying to sell someone stuff, are you real about what you do, are you a real person, are you someone that's just trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes. So I think it takes time for a person to actually see what you're about. But once they see what you're about, as the old folks say, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? Like, once you network with someone or actually get around them and see what they really about, you'll understand that the proof is in the pudding. I mean, there's nothing to hide. And that's the way I look at things, because I look at things like I got to be naked and not ashamed when I'm dealing with my black people, and I'm dealing with my black men, because we sense that, especially that fakeness, and we sense when a person ain't genuine, and it's hard for us to open up and be real with a man or a person that we feel that is fake or faulty. So it'll be hard for me to help my brothers in any direction if I wasn't real, if I wasn't standing on what I believe in, if I wasn't doing things myself. And that's why I say sometimes you got to do things yourself. So regardless of um, me starting out the way I have, I've been doing it myself, and it's getting better over time. And actions speak louder than words. I mean, you can go back through the archives and see I have grew from where I started from, but I don't think that I'm nowhere near close to where I want to be at. But I think that that's the whole process, because as long as we live, we're gonna get better and better and be improving on our lives. So I think that as long as we work on it, things are going to get better. But actions speak louder than words, and people want to see you do it. So that's why I say do it yourself in this episode, man, because you're going to have to do it yourself. Like, whatever the situation is, even you paying someone to help do certain things, or you're going to physically do it yourself to get it off the ground, because people want to see, are you really real about what you say? Are you standing on it? Can you really accomplish this? Um, is it worth me investing with you? You know what I mean? Or is it worth me making a donation to help your cause? Are you just flattery? Are you all about the glamour, or are you really trying to help people? You know what I mean? The message. One thing I know, that the message never change. Times change, appearances may change. We get older, but the truth. I don't care how you. If it's the truth and you speaking it, it's the truth. And it's gonna stand out due to the test of time. So right now I'm about to fire up, because, like I said, today has been a day. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It has been a good day so far. Just trying to get certain things done. Sometimes, man, it does feel like you're pulling teeth, you know. And one thing I would say, when you're building your team, you just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You know, if it's some people you're gonna deal with, it's all about the money with them, and they're gonna stress it. That's fine. If they come in and they provide what you need to be provided, the work ethics, then just pay them and just use them for that. You know, okay, it's nothing personal. You know, that's gonna be done right, but it's all about the money. That's cool. I think we actually have to weed out those type of people. You know, there's a saying that says you have to separate the tare from the wheat, the weeds from the wheat, because if they get mixed up, you know, it tends to look alike, and you tend to eat some weeds and thinking you got some good wheat, and you ain't got wheat, you got weeds. So sometimes you have to weave that out, and that's when you're dealing with business too, because people just got their different agendas. Some people want to help you because they like what you're doing. Other people want to help you because they feel like you can open up a door for them, you know, and others just want to just do you a service and want you to provide, you know, a good service right back to them. So it's different, you know. But today I just actually just wanted to come to you and talk to you for a second about doing things yourself. Because when you're building your independence, you're gonna be doing some things yourself. You know, so don't get bent all out of shape because you have to do everything yourself. You know what I mean? It's gonna be, that's the process of it. And then as you build and that things get to going, you will see the people that will stop by and assist a hand or help out, or you know, you can pay for assistance or whatever, but you're gonna have to do it first, most definitely. So keep that in mind. So that's why I just say do it yourself, because I can't stress that enough. You're gonna have to get your hands dirty. You're gonna have to get your hands dirty, especially getting started. I remember a entrepreneur said in a seminar that I watched, he was stressing on your first business, you should be completely hands on, because you're gonna learn so many, you're gonna have mistakes and lessons you're gonna learn. There's gonna be so much you're gonna learn by being hands on, that once you get to operating it and you spreading them out, you'll know how to deal with them in different areas. But you have to set up something proper first. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to have your hands on in your first business venture, whatever it is. You're gonna have to be hands on with it, and I think it'll even make it more, because then you personally, you're gonna learn the ins and outs. You're gonna learn what not to do, what to do, why you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? You're gonna learn all of that, and I think that that's just a process. You know what I mean? So I think that is good that we actually get our hands dirty, because we're gonna have to get our hands dirty to learn this, man. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes it's gonna be frustrating, and then honestly, sometimes it's gonna be real fulfilling. Like you're gonna enjoy actually doing it yourself. Because I do on certain things. You know, I enjoy doing it because I know how to get it done and get it done right without going back and do it again. Because some people, you know, like I say, when you're dealing with some people, they don't treat your work like it's your work. You know, they'll do it their own way and try to, you know, sabotage pretty much what you got going on. You have to go back and check. I'm like, hey, hold on, man, that ain't good. You know what I mean? So I think that, you know, when you getting started, like I say, do it yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing, you know, whatever it is that you're into. I got a Texas, they're about to jump into the cleaning business. And I think he told me that his wife or his girlfriend got experience in that area. And that's a big need. And he welds too, but he's starting a business in this, and then he want to use the welding too, but he want to start off with something that he knows. So I think like when you starting a business, man, it don't necessarily have to be welding starting out. You can put that welding money into a cleaning service like what my guy's doing. You know what I mean? So it all depends on how you're doing it, but you're gonna have to get your hands dirty, and you're gonna have to do your homework. And I just want to say this too for the record. I want to say this again because I don't really think a lot of people fully getting it. Just because we are small, just because we are independent or sole proprietors or whatever, single member LLCs, we still can look like a corporation with our website, with our logos, with our business cards, with the way we deliver our business and provide our services. So just because you have to start small, you still can look big like a corporation, and you want to look bigger. Have you ever seen them stores, um, especially some black stores? I'm just to be honest, because I've seen a lot of them around here in Oklahoma City, where I done pulled up to some black businesses, and the vehicles of the business looked better than the business did. The liabilities of the business looked better than the business was making the money. To me, that's backwards. Like, you want your business, like, I would rather you to see me looking like you probably think I was a bum, and you go to my business, you like, man, this is nice. You want your business, what makes you money, to me, to look better than you. It represents you, it's feeding you, it's taking care of you. So I would want to put more money into it than my appearance. I mean, who are you trying to please? But sometimes we tend to come from certain situations, and we want to do better so that way we can shine on somebody. We can shine on them. Oh man, I can't wait till they see me come down in this, or driving that, or living in this. And that's all you're gonna get out that situation is that look. If you ever even see them looking, or that mumble that you might hear somebody talking about, ooh, he's doing good now, or ooh, she's doing good now. But that's pretty much all you're getting out of it. You know what I mean? So I think that you just have to weigh out what you really want when it comes to business. Like, and you have to make it look better than you. Like, you want your business to look good. You want your because that's going to provide you. That's going to replace you from working for your money. You got to think your business is going to provide you not only an income but freedom. And to me, I think that's the biggest thing about business, actually, because it gives you the freedom. Because once you get the money, you're gonna get to buying a lot of things that you never had. You might just buy things. A lot of people buy things that they shouldn't have bought. I can't. So many celebrities. Once you get the money, it's certain things that people just gonna do. You know what I mean? You never had no money. You're gonna do something, and that's fine because that's what it is, man. You never had nothing. You might go spend. You might. I was listening to Nick Cannon. One of his deals, and he bought some. I want to say it was some diamond shoes. They had real diamonds all the way around them. I don't know how much they was, but they was. But everything is an investment to some, and some of it is just a liability to say, hey, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, he probably couldn't sell those shoes to get what he got out of them. You know what I mean? But that's something that he wanted. So I think sometimes we have to think about that. Like, how do it weigh out? You know what I mean? And really know what we're trying to do, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, I had to regroup, refocus, retry, get myself together. I've been trying to do so many things, man. And when you see something ain't working, you got to be wise enough to switch it up. Don't just keep trying to force something, and you see it's not working. Like, it's too big. Trim it down some. Tweak it some. Don't just get to the point where you feel discouraged or you got a lot going on, and then you feel like, damn, well, maybe I just need to keep pushing. Some things sometimes it's wiser to switch it up, to step back and just be wise, just be humble and say, you know what, this ain't working. I want this to work, but I can't do this like this. I need to switch this up and do something else. Like, I didn't have to do that several times, and sometimes it was on some things that I really thought was gonna work, and I was like, damn, I had already invested all this time in it, and then I'm thinking to myself, well, if I go on and let it go now, since I'm not seeing it, I can go on and move on and do what I need to do instead of wasting more time. You know what I mean? So I just think it's a battlefield that we play on, within ourselves, on knowing what we want versus what we need, building our business versus building our reputation, or our personal. You got to think, you got your personal reputation, then you got your business reputation, and you got your business look, and you got your personal look. You know what I mean? even though, I stress being a business individual product, meaning you a business, you an individual who can make earn income, and you a product that can make passive income. You see what I'm saying? So you have three different type of things you're doing within yourself. I believe in doing that, but you have to learn how to divide, learn how to network yourself like this, you know what I mean? Because it takes time, but you can mimic those that's bigger. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, that's some of the best game you can get is from the bigger companies. Watching how they do their commercials, watching how they line out certain things. Certain things you can get a lot of good information from by watching those major things. Now, you might not have the money to do a Super Bowl commercial, you know what I mean? But you get the concept of why they do it at a certain time and why it's got certain many words or certain lighting or certain products being mentioned so many times. Like, it's a method to it. You know what I mean? So I think we have to literally learn the method to what we're doing. You know what I mean? And how to actually win from it. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that we got to do it ourselves, because with investing, with flipping, with working, all of this we have to get involved in to know the difference. Like, you're gonna have to pay someone to do something, or actually be in there and doing it yourself and losing to actually say, okay, that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to switch this up. So, I think that it's valuable to do that, man. And it's valuable to utilize all your assets. A lot of times we feel we got to go get so much when a lot of times we have what we need with us. A lot of times we do, but we feel like, oh, I gotta go buy this, I gotta get this, man. Just use what you got. Use what you got. Use what you got. And then if you got to go get something, go and get something. But you got to think, you're trying to make a profit. You're trying to literally pull yourself out of debt. You're not just necessarily trying to get a bag so that way you can get in more debt. You're trying to eliminate debt and actually live a freer life, a better life. You know what I mean? Like, man, it just, man, we just trying to take things to another level. And sometimes, man, I think we get confused with the glamour of things. You know what I mean? Everybody wants something nice, and there's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. But I just think we have to work on our priorities, get our priorities in line, and really know, okay, what comes first, what's most important. You know what I mean? Because I'm not knocking no one to enjoy their life, have some good things, eat some good food, none of that. You know what I mean? But I think that there's a time and a place for everything. And if you really, really building your independence, sometimes you got to take a sacrifice. But think of this. Think of this though. Say you sacrifice for a year or 2 years, and then you don't have to sacrifice no more. Say you had to eat Roman noodle soups or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches 2, 3 days a week, you know, until you able to do better. Because I think a lot of our problems is we don't want to let go and change certain habits. I think as we grow and do business and then we grow as people, I think it comes to a time where we have to eliminate different things in our life that we feel like is a waste of time. You're not getting no benefit from it, or it's just something vain. I used to like to buy clothes a lot. I got out. I wanted to look good. I wanted to have this, so I believed in buying certain clothes. So I was big on that. Big on buying polo shirts. I liked the polo and chap. I was big on buying vests and certain things, certain shoes, certain. That was my thing, because my image, everything was in my mind was caught up in my image, and I spent money to look a certain way. Now, wasn't nothing wrong with it to a certain degree, but I wasted a lot of vain money, just on looks and vehicles and cars and radios and systems and like, oh my goodness. Even though I was making money replacing it or whatever, I still wasted a lot of money. But I think that that's part of the growth, because until you experience it or actually touch that type of money to be able to do some things, you can't say what you're gonna do until you get it. So, a person can say, oh, I'll do this, but Once they get it, you'll see, what they'll really do with it. So I just wanted to come to you today, man, smoke one, talk to you about doing it yourself. You see, I did a live video earlier of me out there in the field getting my hog on, and I just want to encourage my people, man, that sometimes you're gonna do things yourself. Sometimes things ain't gonna work out the way that you want them to work out. But it doesn't mean that you didn't um you ain't trying to level things out. You just have to figure out what you got to let go. 'Cause sometimes you just gotta let things go. You know what I mean? I didn't have to figure that out. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to let things go. So don't be afraid to let things go when that time comes. And don't be afraid. Another thing I say, hog on, straight facts, brother. Yes, yes, yes. Sometimes you got to be able to let things go, man. And you can't be afraid. You're gonna have to just let it go and grow from it and learn from it and keep on going. But I think that doing it yourself in this aspect is gonna help you a lot. Like you're gonna gain a lot of experience and wisdom and know-how from actually doing it yourself. So once you do get someone else to do it, when that time comes, they can't pull no wool over your eyes because you already know. You like, nah, I know how long that'll take. I did it in 3 hours by myself. And you telling me it took you 8 hours with three people? Oh, then you know that somebody getting over on you. You know what I'm saying? You know better. You know what I mean? So I think on certain things, you just have to do it yourself, man. And it just makes you better at what you do, more confident, more ensuring, you know what I mean? But I think that, doing it yourself is the way to go, man. So whatever you got planned, whatever business idea, venture, get your hands dirty. It's gonna be okay. Give it that best look. You know what I mean? Even though you small, make it look big. Make it look the best you can. Image is everything. Your branding, and keep that in mind too. Branding is different than just selling something. You're not just selling something. You're actually branding. So you're not just selling a service. You actually, I got a call. You actually um, trying to live longer than your brand to live longer than you, because that's really what branding is. A person might start a company and they might live, and it might be their kids, their cousins, their grandkids, or whatever, to keep it going. And that's what you want to do. You start it, and once you establish it, it's easier for it to, you know, the process to keep going. But I just got a couple calls. Um, got a guy actually I need to go on and talk to real quick, address. But I wanted to come to y'all, talk to y'all, and just say sometimes, man, you gonna have to do it yourself, but it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's a lot of things you're gonna learn from it, and it's going to get to the time, as long as you're humble and you learning and you learning the process, where you ain't gonna have to do it like this all the time. You know what I mean? It's just a process. You know what I mean? But I think it's a good process. It's good for you. It's good. It's good to show your clients how you started, the process of it. I think they really respect it. A lot of times they like to see where you came from, to know your character. You know what I mean? Knowing that you ain't gonna fold under pressure because you done been through a lot of pressure. You ain't gonna take nothing that you can't do because you know what you can do. So you like, nah, this is not for me. I'm gonna pass on this one, or nah, I can do this, but I got to charge X amount of dollars because I know exactly what it'll take to get this accomplished. So I just think it's something wise to think about. But like I say, man, I just wanted to come to you, talk to you for a second. Uh, Today has been one of them days for me, just trying to do what I can do, and then dealing with life. We all got life we deal with. You know what I mean? And for the record, another reason why I say hog on all the time before I get out of here with y'all, um, we all face something, man. And hogging through something doesn't mean that you just welded. You can be hogging through a situation in your life. You can be going through something personal, and hogging just mean it just staying at it, just overcoming, just hustling, just keep pushing until you reach your destination. You know what I mean? So sometimes we just need to be reminded to keep pushing. And that's pretty much what HogOn stands for on that standpoint. To just keep pushing, man. Keep hogging. You know what I mean? Whatever you're going through, you can survive it. You can get through it, but it's going to be hard sometimes. It's not going to be easy all the time, and that's fine because we hogs and we understand that we got to get out there and get our hands dirty and feed ourselves. We can't depend on nobody to feed us, and that's why we hogs. You know, and that's why I stress the hustling over grounded obstacles naturally, and and the business meaning behind HogOn stands for honoring our generation. Ornamental nature means we honoring what we do and others that build things with their hands. We honoring it with our generation. And I think that's why I got to start. You start with yours and you pass it down. So, HogOn is for everyone, everyone that's going through something. Because I don't know what you're going through, but if you're going through something, you're gonna have to hog to get yourself out of it. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to keep pushing. You're gonna have to go that extra mile. You're gonna have to be that underdog that didn't give up. You know what I mean? So when I come to you and I say hog on at the end or in the beginning or whatever, I'm just saying, man, just keep going. You know what I mean? You might not well, or you might do whatever you do, but we all face personal issues in life, and sometimes we, get those thoughts and that motion to give up, that notion to give up. You know what I mean? So instead of giving up, we just got to keep holding. You know what I mean? Because one thing I know for sure, it ain't always raining. You know, the sun ain't always shining, the wind ain't always blowing, and it's not always night. So everything is temporary, but we got to go through it ourselves. It still goes right back to do it yourself. We have to go through these things ourselves to make us better, because once we go through it, it just builds our character. It just gives us so much drive and motivation and confidence that we can do it. It's not arrogant. Some people that's not as confident or look at you like you arrogant, like you must think he must think he this or she must think she that. No, you just confident. You done been through the fire. See, when you survive the fire, man, just let me say this real quick. When you done survive something, people don't understand the way you maintain through something. Like, man, why you ain't acting like that? Because you didn't survive something, and how it's going to be on the other side. And sometimes we'll survive the thing that someone else is going through, and we can give them that word and say, hey, man, it's going to be okay. And they can't see it because they in the midst of the game. And to me, that's what a coach is, you know. But that's why they pay coaches so much to be at the game, doing the game, because they seeing things that the player, us, you, can't see. So the coach can be able to say, hey, so and so coming over from the side all the time, somebody to get over there and double up on them or something. You know what I mean? So we need that guidance, man. We need someone to actually be real with us and just give it to us. You know what I mean? So, I just chose to share my journey. You know what I mean? Too, because I feel like my life is more than mine. I want to use it to help and influence and motivate someone to just do all they can, and especially coming from where we coming from the ghetto, from the projects, from the hood. You know what I mean? Being able to change ourselves, to being able to live better, to travel. Man, it's so much out here. So much out here we can do, and all you have to do is just keep getting your hog on. All you have to do is just be relentless, and just get it. You know what I mean? So do it yourself. Keep grinding. Stay focused on what you're doing. Keep getting your hog on, and be blessed. I'm out. Black Fingers.